Welcome back. You are watching Goeiemôre, good morning. The feature film Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight is not only making big waves in South Africa, but also internationally. Based on the book with the same title by Alexandra Fuller, it is praised by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and was directed by acclaimed actress Embeth Davids, who grew up in South Africa. Let's take a look at the trailer.
The country we live in was called Rhodesia, but then some Africans said they found it first, and the Euros stole it from them.
12 whites were murdered with a savage.
But then those Africans turned into terrorists, and that's how the war started. I keep a lookout for terrorists.
Watch out! Big storm is coming. Let's better hold on.
Sorry about the mess. Can you have Jacob bring me my tea, please?
On our farm, we live with Sarah and Jacob. Tell me a story.
Once upon a time, everyone got along with everyone else. All of nature as one family.
Mum, am I African?
No, Baba.
Is it because we don't have brown skin?
There's still Rhodesia in my eyes.
Bring on the bloodshed if that's what they want. I've got enough ammo for a world war.
Mum says she'll die for this land.
Who said you could come on this farm? This is my farm.
I believe her. Pew. Are we racist?
What? Certainly not.
What sort of people are we then?
Africans have eyes to see what the whites cannot see. These people know what we're doing, so you just better bloody watch yourself.
I'll never leave here. You'll never leave me.
This is how the story ends. All our lives, we are cursed with separation and loneliness and longing.
Phenomenal. If the trailer is anything to go by, and I've seen the film, it's incredible. We are now so privileged to be joined by Paul Bass, one of the producers on the film, and the immensely talented child star. I should actually say superstar, because she steals the whole movie. She's got the international press raving, and not only them, she decided that it was going to be cool for her to come and visit Goeiemôre Good Morning today. Lexi Fenton, thank you so much for coming to join us. And you, Paul.
Thank you.
I mean, it's
Thank
great
you.
having you here. But this
Look,
is,
I'll stand in the background and just applaud Lexi every single time.
It's so great to have you both here. Paul, you are one of the producers on the film Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight from Rose and Oaks Media, which is a company with you, Anele Mdoda, Franco de Toy at the helm of it. You guys have done some incredible work like Ludic, which has been on Netflix, and also Ready, Steady, Cook and lots of other incredible productions. How did it come about that you were working on this film, Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight?
Yeah, thanks, Roz. It's a pleasure to be here. Look, the short answer is Embeth Davids. You know, she's really the catalyst behind this entire project. You know, she read the book, the memoir from Alexandra Fuller, and she just really fell in love with the story and just kind of was spearheaded the entire process. You know, I met her through a mutual friend, Arnold Forstler from Ludic. And then we met about 3 years ago, almost to the day, 3 years ago. And we just kind of hit it off. And then we started looking for, you know, the lead of this film, you know, and it was quite the process to find this little amazing Lexi, which we're really glad we have done.
How did they find you, Lexi?
My mom saw a Facebook page and it said, we're looking for a child that is scruffy and doesn't take baths, that can maybe ride a motorbike and horse. And some of our friends also sent it to us, and my mom's like, let me just give it a try. So we gave it a try, and Embeth, we had some auditions, and then Embeth came to our house and said, after the audition, she said, you're amazing. And then like a week later, she said, you've got the part.
That is the most incredible story, because really your character Bobo carries the film. So it's a story of the Rhodesian War and It's told from the perspective of a child. Why do you think that's such an effective device to use in telling the story?
Yeah, so look, I think the subject matter is quite heavy in a sense, and the memoir itself spans a couple of decades, right? So MBIF really kind of focused on a specific period within the memoir itself, and felt it was best to kind of not tell the story from the adult's point of view in the book, but rather focus on the eyes for a child, because I think it brings an innocence to it, and it gives it a blank canvas in a sense, because we have to be mindful of what we expose our children to and what we leave for the next generation to come. Yeah. And I think that's one of the main focuses of the film, is how do our lives as adults influence that of our children in the next generations. So it's we're so privileged to have found Lexi through, I think, over 300 children that we auditioned for the part. I remember going down to Belita with MBIF, and we had a camera in Lexi's home, and a dog was running around, and Mother Vanessa was there. And when we got out of that auditioning process, I remember MBIF looking to me saying, "Paul, I think we found her." And that was after 6 months of searching, to find little Bobo.
Wow.
So what an incredible thing, because we knew we didn't have a film without having a Bobo.
Yeah.
That's why it was so crucial to get her.
Lexi, what was the shooting process like for you? Because you'd never acted before.
So I worked really hard, clearly learning my lines. It was pretty easy because Mbeth and Paul was there to help me. And it was like, what is the word? Like...
comfortable.
Yeah. Like I was comfortable being there.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew how to do it. I felt like I could do it like 1,000 times.
Well, it comes across in the film. There are so many scenes that you are in. There's very few scenes that Bobo is not in. So the fact that you've delivered a performance like this, and you were 7 at the time of shooting, right? Because obviously these things take a long time from the script and the book, and then trying to get it made. And now you're sitting here as a 9-year-old watching yourself. How does that feel?
The first time I watched it in Toronto, it was strange seeing myself so little and missing all those teeth. But as I kept watching it, it got better. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
You feel more comfortable.
Yeah. You were made for this part. This whole thing of finding the right Bobo it's vital. And I've actually listened to another interview that Mbith was doing, was saying that you don't take a leopard cub and then try and teach it to be a leopard cub. You observe that. And I mean, that comes across so beautifully in everything that we see in this film.
Yes.
I want to also speak about some of the heavier issues and having to do that with a child actor. How did you guys navigate all of that?
So look, Mbith is an artist of note. She's extremely sensitive towards the subject matter and towards Lexi, and knowing that we're approaching this through the eyes of a child, and it's important that we take care of Lexi. And so Mbith engaged a lot with Vanessa and Rian, Lexi's amazing parents, who were with her every single day on set. Rian did some second camera operating for us, so it was really, really an involved shoot, and it was fantastic. We had limited hours, but really talking through the difficult things, the things that Lexi's going to see on set, explain, okay, it's not real, but you have to understand what the impact would be in a real scenario. And Lexi's really quite mature for her age. Even at as the feral child would like to describe her as we found, she really has a great sense of what is happening in the scene and what the context of it is. And Mbith was just brilliant in kind of, coaxing her into the right frame of mind through every scene, because it's difficult for a child of 7 at the time to contextualize where we're at in the screenplay, reading, almost 100 pages of a script and think, okay, we're on page 10, where's my character with this? It's difficult for a child to grasp that. Obviously, Mbith was at the helm of that entire process, and her parents also just did a phenomenal job in also guiding her and, assisting her with the lines and things, behind the scenes.
The film has been acclaimed at various film festivals. It was the opening film at the Toronto International Film Festival last year. It's also done incredibly well in terms of how it's been received by the critics. I read a piece on Vogue earlier this week that it's been hailed as one of the top 10 films of 2025 already. How does that kind of thing and that kind of feedback as a producer and someone who's been on this process with this film, how does it make you feel?
Look, it's just surreal. You know, you go into this thinking of what a best case and a worst case scenario could be. The subject matter is obviously sensitive in its nature, but I think having it received this way just speaks to the way it was portrayed and executed, you know, by Lexi, by Embif, by Zikona, you know, by Rob, by Fumani, you know, by Anina, who plays Vanessa, Lexi's sister. You know, it's really like the ensemble of it all and the tone that Embif shaped into the story of it. You know, it's and when you watch it, you saw it, right?
Yes.
It's got a really special, almost an untouched feel to it, you know, but it takes an incredible director to kind of have that light touch to something, you know, because what feels like a light touch isn't always a light touch, you know, so it's really a special director that kind of can weave a story that feels as naturally flowing like this one does.
Lexi, what would you like people to take away when they watch the film?
I would like them to kind of see what Bobo was like. I want them to be able to go into Bobo's mind and feel her. And I also want them to understand that Bobo had a hard life, and everyone did there. But also, Bobo was naughty. Like, seriously naughty.
I loved it. Paul, something you should be so proud of. Lexi,
Thanks.
You are a superstar. I'm glad I get to meet you at 9 because people are going to be talking about you for decades. The film is absolutely spectacular. Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight is currently in cinemas. Make sure that you go and watch it. It is an experience like you've never had in a cinema before. We will be right back. And if you've missed any of our conversations, make sure that you go and follow us on social media at Goeiemôre, good morning.